Hello everyone and welcome back to 4KB Shorts Let's Play of Kerbal Space Program with the Realz! Alright, last time we decided that we were absolutely not going to worry about the money. Even though we still have a little bit of it. Because I failed at launching our second rocket. I did. Because of that, we're just going to go ahead and launch rockets and hope for the best. I think is what we're going to do. So we're going to go ahead and select this mission again, which is the one that requires all the little bits and bobs. It is, establish a stable orbit around Kerbal, reach stable orbit at 80 kilometers, plus or minus 5k, with a probe, stay there for 2 hours to collect data, then land safe, preferred at KSC. Now the preferred at KSC, once again, not going to do that, probably just because we're probably going to fail. But we already have a rocket set up like specifically for that, and that was the Shroom 2. But we are going to modify the Shroom 2 because it did not get us what we needed, and what we needed was up, 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 up. And it did not get us that, and that is upsetting. So let us tear away some bits, some bobs. Ooh, that's not what I wanted. Let's tear away this bit and bob and tear away that. Alright, so we have that, right? And so as I said, I'm not going to really worry about the money part so much anymore. Do these even have ablative coatings on them? I don't even know. They might not. They're installed in a different directory than the standard plate. So I don't know if it has an ablative coating or not, but we're not going to worry about that because we're not taking that up right now. What we are going to worry about is the clamps I was initially looking for, the decouplers I was initially looking for. Okay, so yeah, it's probably more expensive to fail multiple times than it is just to build a rocket that does what you want the first time. And we're taking a little bit of, no, you know what, we're not even going to take a chance, screw it. We're going to build a rocket that we know will work because that is what we do around here. So let us go ahead and build that, and put this on here. And that thing doesn't want to steer. I like the thrust vectoring. I like the thrust vectoring, I do. Okay, so we want two of these, and we'll just go ahead and put them opposite of each other. And so that way it kind of keeps it straight a little bit with the asperagi system doing its thing, like so. We probably also want some magical, mystical space tapes. Not sure how it works, we just know that it do. Alright, space tape and more space tape. You actually really don't need space tape, I don't think, for this, like an asparagus system looks like this, but better safe than sorry in this regards. And we need practice being safe than sorry with our Kerbals, because we're going to eventually get Kerbals up there, I promise, I swear. I know you guys are like, I thought you were going to do permadeath, KB. I know, I am, we are. We absolutely are, but in order to do permadeath, you have to do life. Alright, so we need this one here, and this rocket down here, and that's all of that. And that's a parachute, and that's the, okay, that's the hot plate. Alright, and then there I think we're good. Okay. So we gotta get to 80 to 85, or 80 kilometers plus or minus 5. Which we can do with this rocket. It's gonna be expensive, but you know what? Who cares? At this point, who cares? It will get us up there. It absolutely will. So let's go ahead and get out there to the launch pad, and we'll go ahead and launch this up. Considering we're doing this as sort of a let's see if we can pass this mission thing, I'm not sure how much we're going to show. Maybe I can just get through these first few missions just really super quick, just bam, 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 bam. But I don't know. But I'll see you guys out on the launch pad because that's where you have to start a mission, isn't it? Yeah. So let's get out there and we'll see what we can do. Alright everybody, here we are out on the launch pad. Let's go ahead and get our... Yep, that's what we need. We'll throttle up, and then we will launch. And there we go. Don't need a lot of thrust, just a very teeny tiny rocket in order to get up into the, ooh, that was weird. In order to get up into the space place. Gonna burn up a little bit of fuel. We're basically burning straight, yeah, we're burning straight down the side tube. So, an asparagus rocket that really only has one asparagus stage, nothing really spectacular. I'm pretty sure it's not gonna be very grand going up, so I'll just go ahead and kill the video for here. Or stop recording right here. And then I'll see you guys in... Stop recording, cut, whatever. And I'll see you guys in orbit because this is not going to take us very long at all to get there. So I'll see you guys there. Alright everybody, we are in orbit, but we have some problems, i.e. we actually don't have the correct orbit. So we need a minimum periapsis of 75,000, which of course this says we're at 59, and a maximum of 85, and it says we're at 113. So we have a little bit of fuel left. We're going to go ahead and try to fix that. I did set up a burn node, but it's a pointless burn node, so we're not even going to worry about it. So let's go ahead and kill this. So we need this one to go up, that one to go down, right? That's sort of what we wanted. Can we do it this way? Yeah, we really don't want to burn too much in the wrong direction. Oh, that's definitely the wrong way. Let's go ahead and roll the other way, I think. This one should get us closer to what we want, I believe. Yeah, this one right here should get us closer to what we want. Let's see how that works for us. Okay, that's not it. Just do little micro burns here and there so you're figuring out which way we go. There's that. Okay, there we go. So there's 76, and I guess we can just keep it there for now because we don't have a lot of fuel to waste. And we'll check out our... So our max apoapsis has to be 85, right? Which means when we get to our periapsis, we need to burn... let's really quick get into the map to get rid of this. So max periapsis will be... Yeah, we have to get over to here. So we're going to have to loop around the planet a little bit. So let's go ahead and do that. Oh, wait, how much time do I have? Enough, I think. I think we'll be okay, at least to get to that side really quick. I don't know, maybe. Maybe not. We don't have any solar panels, remember? Dun 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 dun! Yep. Alright, we're heading over to our periapsis. And we still have some battery power. Okay, we're okay. We are okay. Alright, so here we are. Now we want to burn retrograde. And that's going to be in 19 seconds. So I figured I'd show you guys this part because, of course, this is where we're correcting issues. I don't just want to be all like, oh, we made it into space and it was a perfect thing and everything went perfectly fine. Because it doesn't. It never does. Not for me. Not for me. It's terrible doing that. Alright, so let's slow down. Let's actually slow down. Alright. There you go. 86. 80.4, right? And what did that get us on power? Ugh, not a lot of power. We may not have enough power, Captain. No. Our battery might be dying. Oh, that's not it. Our battery might be dying way too quickly. How's our little guy doing? Oh, he's definitely dead. Well, we can do this. We can absolutely do this. This is going to be really weird. And should I cheat? I don't really feel like cheating. We're not going to cheat. I already said we're not going to cheat. In. And we're going to take 5 units of energy. And we're going to keep those 5 units in reserve. Ah, see? Resource management. Very important. We're going to keep 5 units in reserve so our little electrical battery will work for us. So even if our sensors die, because it doesn't say our sensors have to be online, no offense, I mean that's not technically cheating, but even if everything else dies, we still have 5 units of energy to maneuver with, right? Alright, and it says we have to stay up here for 2 hours. Minimum time, 2 hours, 7 seconds? Oh, 2 hours, and we're here for 11 seconds. Okay. Well, I guess we could just fast forward time and see where that gets us in the end. Eh, why not? Yeah, let's just do that. So let's just go ahead and... Near 1 minute. Wow, really? I don't think our battery is going to last. Oh, it's definitely not going to last. Okay, guys, 1 second really quick. Alright, everybody, sorry about that. Just had to pause for 1 second. Okay, so, and no, I wasn't cheating, I promise. We're still down to 54.2 power. I was fast forwarding. I think what we'll go ahead and do is we'll just fast forward, but before we do that, and before we actually run out of power, we'll take a couple of readings. It looks like our... Yeah, we have 0G. That's probably going to take power, so we'll just turn each one on and off. We're in a vacuum! Wow, look, I told you these things were pointless. Well, 07.65 meters per second. I think that's squared. And our current temperature is, it'll probably be negative 164. What do you want to bet? Oh, look at that. I was right. So then the thermometer becomes useless too. So all this stuff is useless. Yay! Okay. So don't have to worry about powering it. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fast forward to the 2 hour mark, and then we're going to see if we can get this sucker back onto the ground. Oh look, there's KSP down there. Or KSC down there. Because that's where we're going to try to land, by the way. Anyway, yeah, we're gonna try to see if we can get the sucker down. Remember, we locked out. Well, remember, I've been gone for a little bit, but you know, remember that we locked out the power. So this power should stay with us. So we should have at least that much to control the ship as needed. Hopefully, hopefully. Speaking of which, let's go ahead. Pardon me. Let's go ahead and turn ourselves a little bit. There you go. And that way we know which way we're facing, because we're going to be facing roughly in this direction when we come back around. And when we lose power, we're only going to have 5 units of power left. And that means we're going to have to use that power to Apollo 11 this thing in. No, wait, Apollo 13. I'm getting my Apollos wrong. Yeah, we're going to have to Apollo 13 this thing in with only like 5 amps of power. Remember? I don't know what you guys, like... Anyway, point being, let me not screw up history too much. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and fast forward to the 2-hour marker. And then we'll see what we can see when we get there. So I'll see you guys on the other side. Alright everybody, we're about to hit the 2-hour mark, and I realized as I was flying around Kerbal at super high speeds that where I set our deorbit burn would not be exactly where we're supposed to deorbit burn when we get back around because of Kerbal day. Hey, there we go, 2 hours and 2 seconds. Yeah, because a Kerbal day is only like a half an hour. So basically the planet's rotating underneath us, and we're probably going to miss the thing. But we do still have our 5 units of power left. Our main battery is dead, but our little itty bitty brain is still functioning just fine. So we are good to go in that regards. Can't turn or anything because we are actually out of power. So we are stuck in this position until such a time that we land. So we get 3,000 for landing on Kerbal, but we get an additional 5,000 if we land in this area. So it says negative 75 to negative 73, and we're at 14. Well, this is nice. I like this. See, this is the kind of map coordinates that I wish we had when it came to landing. I know that MechJeb, which we don't have now, has the ability to tell you where you're going to land, even with wind resistance and everything else, so you can land pretty close to your target. Even with that, I tend to miss. But this is really nice how it tells you to do this. So we're probably going to be off a little bit because we're a little high on our orbit. We may not make it anywhere near KSC, but we're going to go ahead and give it a shot. And to do that, let's go ahead and take a look at our map really quick. We will be... crud. I think we're going to be on the dark side. Or attempting to land on the dark side, yeah. Because Kerbal Space Command is around here somewhere. So we have some time, I think. We can just spend some time up here and loop around again. So we'll go ahead and do that. Probably off camera until the daylight come and we want to go home. Yeah, we'll go ahead and do that, so at least we can attempt to land on the day side. So once again, I'm going to cut. We're going to get to the day, and then we're going to try to land our probe so we can get an extra 3,000 Kuros, if nothing else. And you know, do some test landing at Kerbal Space Command. That'd be kind of cool. So I'll see you guys on the other side again. All right, everybody, we are on the dark side. And this is going to take a little bit of love, but we're going to go ahead and give it a shot. We're going to try to land from this side because we're pretty close to landing. Let's go ahead and turn on electricity. Turn on, please. Oh, can I not activate my electricity while my electricity's off? Oh, that would be upsetting. That's no fun. That's no good. That's terrible. That would make me sad inside. Wait. Maybe we can transfer to our active battery. Maybe that will work. Okay, so let's go our active battery. Can we okay, we can transfer to our active battery. That was not cool. Apparently you can't turn units off and on when your power's out, but you can transfer to an active battery, which will let you do this. And we're gonna drop our... Ooh, that might be a little low. Yeah, I think 19 is a little low. Let's go ahead and bring that back up a little bit. We're going to have to be very cautious about this, by the way. We don't have a lot of energy to do this with, so let's go ahead and do this really quick, and just... Alright, now what we want to do is we want to go like this, and we want to turn this off, or on, excuse me. We want to turn this off, because what we're going to do is we're going to transfer our battery power back and forth as needed. I know, right? Because we still have to launch our parachutes. Yeah, we still have to launch our parachutes. We also need to... Oh, crap. We also need to decouple. Oh, man. Okay, can I decouple? I can't decouple, can I? I can't stage. Yeah, I can't stage. I can't anything. Can I turn this battery back on? Yeah, see, that's bad. That's bad that they don't let you do that. So, but we have figured out a way to kind of cheat the system a little bit. It's cheating the system. It's not actually cheating. Okay, so we're gonna decouple before we run out of juice. Boom. All right, so we've decoupled. That worked for us. Okay, we're gonna burn. Yeah, all that juice is gone now. Woo. Okay, so we're using just a little teeny tiny bit of power each time we do something. This is it. This is our burn in. If we don't do this right, we are boned. We are boned. We need just a little bit more power though. Just a little bit more power, just so we can turn around. That's all we need. Whoop. I think we used up all our power. So yes, that was kind of an actual cheat sheet there. But I didn't want to transfer in 10 more units of power just so I could semi-stop a rotation. So we are a little off center. So we're going to keep it like this for the moment. Wow, this is crazy stuff. This is actually pretty awesome. It's just pretty intense. It really is. I don't know if you guys think it's intense. I think it's totally intense. We're probably going to completely overshoot the Kerbal Space Command. Just so you guys know. Because that should be... no, that's not it, is it? No, we should be... Yep. That's the archipelago on the other side. That's Kerbal Space Command there. We are definitely going to overshoot it because it should be directly... Yeah, it should be directly below us, so it should be right there. So we are going to absolutely overshoot it. We're not going to land near it. That's okay. Landing is just as good, right? We like to think. Let's go ahead and just speed up time because this is going to take us a little while to get down. Okay, we're going to start coasting into the atmosphere a little bit. So there's Kerbal Space Command down there, which is apparently in the water because the land hasn't loaded yet. There it is. There's the land now. So yeah, we're not going to land at Kerbal Space Command. We're probably going to land in the ocean, but that's okay. Now we are coming in completely dead stick, and this time when I say dead stick, I don't mean we have no fuel. I mean we have no control. So this is going to be great, super fun trying out. Oh my god, it's going to be crazy stuff. We have no guidance, no control, no SAS. Luckily, there's no Kerbals on board. Oh, I don't know why I decided not to take up a solar panel. That was really silly of me. But hey, that's okay. If we make it, we can recycle the ship, and it will be the famous Dead Stick shift ship. We'll rename it the Dead Stick because it really is. Oh, bye-bye ship. So there goes our Shroom 2 debris. It's going to burn up in the atmosphere too, much more quickly than we are. We are going at 4 times speed, of course, because there's no reason not to. It's physical time acceleration, so we have to be cautious. Alright, we're coming down into the 30-kilometer mark, which is when heat and fire start to build up, so we have to check our ablative coating. Make sure that when we're heating up, we don't burn off our coating. So we're at 390 degrees centigrade. We have 236 out of 250, which is the same thing up here. Luckily, we don't have a lot of fuel or anything, so we can actually keep an eye on all of our units and stuff right up here. When we slow down enough, we are going to have to transfer at least enough. Can I well, I think I can deploy this via right-click deploy, because that would be very helpful, because that way we could save at least a little bit of battery power. Alright, so we're coming in, and are we not heating up, or just... Well, I slowed down time. Okay, 490, excuse me, 430 degrees centigrade. So this is where we slow down. This is where all the important stuff happens. Oh, there we go. I see a little bit of flame there. Just a little around the edges. Should be okay. We're coming in at a good angle because this plate is actually a really awesome plate when it comes to things like that. Whether or not it will survive the return at this particular angle, because I chose a very odd angle to come in. Actually, I chose a very steep angle to come in, and that was totally my fault. I shouldn't have chosen such a big angle. But oh, we're actually cooling off. Oh, we are. So we're getting flame, but the heat shield is the temperature isn't actually going up that high. So we're getting fire, but we're not doing too bad. How's our temperature here? Barely 1 degree or negative 1 degree, so we're actually staying cool. Wow, that wasn't really hot at all, was it? We came in at a good angle, didn't we? That was pretty good. That was a pretty nice angle. Unfortunately, we missed our mark by a couple 100,000, a couple 100,000 kilometers. I would like to get our speed down to like 600 meters per second before I pop our chute. Very much would like to do that. Yeah, 600 would be fine. I would love 600. Let's go ahead and out and stop and deploy. Hey, look at that! We did it! Well, ish. We did it ish. I'm not going to say we did it just yet because that chute may fly off, something horrible may happen, but we actually came in dead stick. That's. I mean, it would be cooler if it were in a pod, if it were actually a Kerbal, but that's not something I'd like to repeat with a Kerbal, honestly, personally. All right, well, we're gonna head down until the chute opens up, just for safety purposes. And we should be at sea level, so actually we may be able to. Well, we probably don't need to speed up time. We probably could, probably don't need to, but it is an option. I need to stop talking like that. This is the part where it gets kind of boring, but since this is actually part of the mission, whoa, where like recovering the ship gets you a little bit of extra money, and landing gets you a little bit of extra money. And I know I said I wasn't going to worry about the money, but I'm not going to worry about the money when it comes to building the ship, because like I said, I'm going to take a minimalist approach, but we're not going to worry about the money when I'm building the ship, but we are going to worry about getting as much back as possible. And of course, we are going to be returning Kerbins, because Kerbins can't breathe in space. Oh, who would have thought? We are going to be returning Kerbins, so we have to get as much practice getting them down to the ground as safe and quickly as possible, as much as we can. And so far, we've done a pretty good job. I mean, roughly just over 50% ablative shielding left on our heat shield. That's not bad at all. That is, of course, for a teeny tiny probe that probably weighs about half as much as a Kerbal pod, but it is an option. So we should be able to speed up time now without crashing. I don't like to go any higher than like 2 or 3, because at 4 that parachute whips around really bad, and then the physics engine thinks that it like took a really big jolt and it rips completely off for no reason. You're like, oh my god. And then you fall the last 300 meters at like, 40 meters a second and smash into the water, and everything is horrible. So, okay, we're going to come down. Coming down to touchdown. Very slowly. We're going to come down on the seam of the ocean. I don't know why the ocean has seams, but, seems to me. Okay, I really got to stop with the bad puns. Alright, we're coming down. Do we get money back for our parachute? Probably not. Probably not. If we did, we'd have Kerbins climb out and, like, fix the parachutes before we leave. So there we go. A little bit of screen lag. But let's go ahead and check our things. So we got 3,000 for landing. We didn't get 3,000 for landing, or the 5,000 for landing here. But we will say, yeah, finish the mission. And then we should be able to hide finished gold, hide optional gold. Now, how did we recycle our ship? Can we not recycle our ship? I know we can recycle our ship. We used to be able to recycle our ship. It was down here, wasn't it? You can say recycle your ship. Apparently yes, but no. Open browser window? Okay, well, apparently we can't recycle our ship here. I thought we could. Maybe you have to land on land. Or maybe you have to finish all the mission objectives, including the optional one, in order to recycle your ship. That would be silly. That'd be quite silly indeed. Okay, well, we're not worried about that. We're just going to go ahead and head back inside, because apparently I now can't recycle my ship, or I did it backwards where you're supposed to recycle then finish, or the other way around. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and head back inside, and we're going to start up the next mission, because, of course, with all the cuts and everything, this didn't take very long at all. Of course, in my case, it took a really long time, so I'm going to lose track of time. So these videos aren't exactly an hour long. Don't hate me. I'm trying my best. So I'll see you guys back inside, and we'll get our next mission up and running. Alright, everybody, here we are back inside. We're going to go back to the NT space program, and we're going to me cannot talky good. Select our next mission. Mission Charlie. So the last test went surprisingly well. Now let's see what it costs to reach 75 kilometers with a 2.5 meter probe and then land safe. Really? That's it? So this is like a Sputnik mission, I guess. RCL01 remote guidance unit need. Alright. So we have to have one probe stack large? That's it? Well, we'll select the mission. Okay, here we go. So we need RCL01. Which is the RCL01? RCL01 remote guidance unit. This thing. Okay. So that's gonna be, is this like, what, how many meters is that? Oh, that's the big one, isn't it? Well, that's just silly. Okay, so we have to go up and then land safely, right? 75 kilometers and then land safe. Okay, well, this is all we're taking. so I suppose on the other side of this we should put... Well, we are going to need a battery. This is the wrong place for batteries. That's the wrong place for batteries too. Come on. Alright, so we want a big battery? No, that's not a big battery. We want a big battery. Big. We don't have a big battery. Yeah, we do. There it is. It was hiding amongst the ion engines. Ooh, that battery might... Ooh, does that not... Oh, wow. The connectors are wrong. Why are the connectors off? That can't be good. The battery... Wow, that's really weird. I don't know what happened to the ion pack, but apparently in the ion pack, the battery is off. That's a bug. That is a bug. We have these batteries. Well, how much are these batteries? These are 100 at 400, and then we have the square batteries over here, which are 80 at 100. Wow, really? I like these ones. cheap, but expensive at the same time. So let's see, 4 of these. We'll put batteries on next. What we really need right now is we really need to do heat shield. Oh wow, this is a perfect heat shield. Look at that. Wait, if this is this heat shield, what is this, 1.25 meter heat shield? Okay, this is the tiny one. That's the one we've been using. And then this is a 3.75 meter heat shield. That's huge. I think it's huge. They must have made it bigger. So we will use this heat shield. This will be our heat shield for the mission. So we're going to put the heat shield right here, I think. Probably not the smartest place, but it's also going to be our landing skid. Let's see. What do we need on top of this? We don't really need a lot, I don't think, honestly. I mean, and then we should put... we need a parachute. We need a parachute. Alright, so let's... So what do we have? We have the Mark 25 parachute. Mark 25 is known as the drogue parachute. Small, deploys high up, and certainly not enough to stop you smashing into the ground on its own, but useful for slowing a heavy craft down before the deployment of your main chutes. And then the Mark 16 XL. A double-sized variant of the Mark 16, now with only 50% of the structural integrity. Ooh. Okay, so wait. We deploy altitudes 500, full deployed drag, semi-deployed drag is 1. Semi-deployed drag is 4, fully deployed drag is 170. So this could be a slowdown chute if we wanted it to slow us down. This would be a full deploy chute, but it would have no slowdown drag. It shouldn't rip off. That should be good enough to hold us up, I think. I'm not 100%. I don't honestly know. I really need to stop talking like that. Okay. Next will be... You know what? We don't even need 4 of these. 2 is more than enough. 2 is way too many more than enough. We'll put 2 right like that. Ooh, I like that. That's nice looking. But let's move it around. Let's move that around. Let's go ahead and put it here. Like so. That shouldn't have a clipping issue of any kind, I don't think. Parts may explode off, but who knows? Who cares? Now, this time I'm not going to be silly. And I am... No, too big. Too big. And I'm going to put some solar panels on here. We're just going to put 4, I think, will be enough. We'll just aim it at the sun if we need to. And that whole ship is probably going to cost us a crap ton. Well, so far it only cost us 3,700K. Kiros. I love it. Okay, well, there's that. So this is going to be our ship, I suppose, because this is all we need to get up there. It's a very odd-looking boat. Actually, kind of does look like a boat. Underneath... Oh, there's my frame rate. Finally came back. Don't know why it was... I don't have any clue why it was down to 15. It's down. It goes down to 15 when I look at the floor. Must be all the Kerbals down there. All the Kerbals are slowing us down. Alright. Now under this, we need... You know, we could probably go super hardcore on this. And just one big honky rocket. I mean, it does say we have to get up to 75 kilometers, but it doesn't say... Ooh! That's way too expensive, apparently. Well, we'd get some of our money back. Yeah, we don't need that much. This ship isn't that heavy. Is it? Well, let's find out. We need... Flight engineer. Okay, so this is going to include the flight engineer. We don't need 4. We don't need 4. We don't need 8 either. We just need 1. Just one little flight engineer. That's all we need. Just put it somewhere useful. More useful than that? That's kind of useful. Clipping issue like you wouldn't believe, but kind of useful. I guess we could just put it anywhere, but I don't want it to destabilize the boat. Oh, Is that good? Do I like that? I do not. I do not want it sticking outside the heat shield. Which it might. Actually, this whole thing might stick outside the heat shield. And that makes me nervous. I'm never sure if the heat shield will work fully or not with stuff butted up against it. The other one seemed to work okay, though, so... well, you know what? Screw it. We'll just slap it on, like, somewhere. Like, right here. Right here next to the solar panel. It's going to be kind of ugly, but it's going to sit right there. Okay, so there's that. Now, what we need to do is we need to put a clamp on our boat. We're going to use one of these clamps. Splurk. Ooh, not sure if I like the where that clampy go. Is that clamp, like... That's where it says it goes, but I don't think I like it there. Is this clamp the same way? No, that one worked better. Why is this one being weird? Why are you being weird, clamp? Stop it. Let's see if we can clamp a clamp to that clamp. Clamp a clamp. Yes, we can, which means that clamp worked fine. I think. Ugh, makes me nervous, but I don't want to fly this thing upside down, which I have done before. Not a big fan. Okay, well, we'll try it. Not a huge fan of it, but we'll try it. Makes me nervous. Don't like being nervous like that. It's going to be top heavy as all gutter snipe, but whatever. Alright, so we'll just put that on there. We'll drop one of these on here. Just a nice little light rocket. And that gives us 2,367 with a 2.44 thrust to weight ratio. That is not bad at all. And if that is not bad at all, we might be able to make it up into orbit with a triple asparagus. I know, right? You're like, KB, what do you mean triple? Just triple like this. Yeah. Just add one more fuel tank and we should be able to make it up without too big of an issue. Should. I say should. I don't say will. 2.44. Now, if we do this proper... Now, this isn't going to be true... This is not going to be a true asparagus system, as you guys are aware. It's just going to be one of these. We're just going to take these and aim them right here for the center pipe. Bam! And then we take this one and we drop it right here. And what does that do? 4,556 units. 2,189 at 3.08 by 4,556 at 2.44, provided those three get us into space, right? What if we do, instead of a center feed, what if we do it like this? Now, this is just going to be a little test. I don't know what it's going to do. It says... Nothing changes because we're just burning from... Yeah, okay, nothing changes because we're not actually burning out in any way. Okay, so there we go. So that should help. If we take the center... I don't like taking the center rocket off, if only because it may cause an issue later on. Well, not off, I mean replacing it with this, because although this gives us more delta V, which is great, and a slightly better thrust to rate ratio, it has no maneuverability, and therefore it becomes a liability. And that's not good. So I think we're going to go like this. I think this is going to be the ship we take up, which looks actually very UFO-ish, now that I'm thinking about it. So let's go ahead and call this thing the TRZ... we're just going to call it a saucer. The TRZ saucer, because it is technically identified. We know it's a flying saucer because it looks like one. Alright, and then we're going to put... We need more than one docking, or launch clamp. We absolutely need more than one launch clamp. So the whole thing's going to be a little bit expensive. A little bit expensive, but that's okay. We will cope. Alright, so there it is. And that gives us 45,000 Kyros. So we get 50,000 Kyros for up. We get 2,000 Kyros for down. Alright, so we want... Let's see, mission 1 goal is... Yes... Body, yes. Minimum altitude, 75,000. Part, probe, stack, large. That's that one. That's its actual that's its part name, but this is what we actually used. Okay, and then landing. Just land anywhere on Kerbal. Well, if we're lucky, this thing can get us... Now, that's minimum altitude, not minimum apoapsis. So we actually have to reach that destination. So we will have to see if that works. But this should get us up there. This should absolutely get us up there. This may even get us into orbit if we wanted it to, but we don't really want it to. That's not our goal. Honestly, we don't even probably need half the parts we have on this thing, considering how high we're going and how fast we're going. But I already made the mistake of having to drain power out of one unit into another and then back and forth it and whatever else to power everything. We are not going to be doing that again. So, this should be the ship we take up. Should work for us, hopefully, hopefully. I will see you guys out there on the launch pad, I believe. Let's go ahead and drop them down a little bit. I will go ahead and see you guys out there on the launch pad. We'll get them up into the air, and we'll see. This is probably going to be a really short flight, so there may not be any cuts, unless something horrible goes wrong, or goes right, or something happens. So I will see you guys out there on the launch pad. Alright everybody, here we are out on the launch pad. Now, as we said before, there's our flag fluttering in the breeze. Little flag. Anyway, as we... Wait. Nope, no min-miss. Okay, so I was going to say, yay, flag, yay, min-miss, but nope, no min-miss. Okay, we are going to head north since we only have to reach 75 kilometers and then come back down because I want to try to land this on land, and of course east to west is mostly ocean. We're going to go ahead and throttle up, and then we're going to launch. Now, hopefully this thing is not super duper top heavy. That's my biggest problem with it, is this is going to cause a lot of drag, but I'm hoping that it's not so much that we flip over or something. So, let us go, I suppose. Scary stuff. And there we go. Super easy, super simple, ready to rock. Now, once again, our actual altitude has to be 75 kilometers. We can't, it's not just our apoapsis. Of course, if we can get our apoapsis up to 75 kilometers, then that means that we've reached our goal anyway, because we can just coast to that distance. But if our apoapsis hits 75, we run out of fuel, and then we have to come back down from that to say 74 or something before we actually reach it. That's going to be an issue. We also have to worry about burning in, because we are going to be burning in. We've done this once before with that, but it was on a slightly lighter ship, so that's something we're going to have to worry about. We do have some rotation issue. Very minor rotation issue, nothing huge, but enough to worry maybe a little bit about it. Okay, we'll start coasting. No, that's south. We want to go north. Yep, there we go. I think that's north anyway. It feels north to me. Yeah, that's north-ish. North-ish. Yeah, north-ish is this way, because we want to kind of aim towards the land area. Get rid of those. Bye-bye, guys. Oh, whoa. Okay, we are top-heavy a little bit. We are top-heavy a little bit, but it's mostly just me overcompensating my turns, I think. Oh yeah, this will have no problem getting us up there. No problem at all getting us up there. I like that. So 40. We don't really need to arc so much anymore. Let's go ahead and just head straight up. Since our purpose isn't to arc, our purpose is to go up. We're going to go up. Alright, let's go ahead and... We're at 70. Ooh. I lost it. That's okay. We don't really have any way to turn this thing because it's so big. I can kind of turn it a little bit. There we go. Yeah, kind of turn it a little bit, but it is still top heavy because we are still technically in the atmosphere. But there's our atmosphere. There's our apoapsis is 77 kilometers, and it's not really going down too much, so we're okay there. We may do what we did before. We have so much fuel left in this big tank. We may not even need the heat shield, and we may just use that to slow our descent, because that's all we really need. And if that's the case, then we won't really have to worry about anything else. So let's go ahead and just make sure we get up to our required height, excuse me, which is of course 75 kilometers, and we're going to hit 77, so that is okay. So it's just a little jaunt into the sky, but it is nice. We get to build little fun rockets, nothing super psychotic, nothing, you know, not the standard rockets. We are building semi-asparagus systems, but they're lighter, they're faster, they're easier. Not super great or anything, but, you know, whatever. I guess we could speed up time a little bit since we're up here above the 70 zone. So we'll do that. So there we go. Alright, hide finish goal. So we got some money out of that. Look how much money we spent, though. We had like 0 money left. Okay, that's okay. Okay, we're going to bring ourselves down. Now, of course, as we all know, we are coming down at actually a fairly hefty rate. Not as fast as you would be coming down if you were coming from orbit. So there is that. We're not like from an orbital speed. It's really what I'm saying, is that we're not coming in from an orbital speed. We are just accelerating down from 0, I guess, or whatever 0 would be in Kerbal space. So we are going to come down here. So we actually didn't travel very far from Kerbal Space Center, but it is just a short atmospheric flight test to see if we can get a rocket up. Nothing grand or glorious. I'm hoping this isn't too boring for you guys, but we do want to do this in order. We kind of have to do this in order. And I could do it off camera, but you guys don't get to see all the wonderfulness that is my inability to fly proper. Okay, let's go ahead and speed up a little bit. We're also going to try to slow down our sideways trajectory, and we have all this fuel, so we're not going to waste it or anything. Yeah, because we're going to start heating up here in a second. Ooh. Okay, there's our surface speed. There you go. Well, I probably could have used a drag chute and been fine, but, you know, it's better safe than sorry, right? That's the way we gotta do this, better safe than sorry. Oh yeah, we didn't even need the heat shield. I didn't even figure, but, you know, if I hadn't brought the heat shield, if I hadn't done all the other stuff, you know how it would have ended up. You guys know that things would have burned up in the atmosphere. That's just the way it works for us. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and, we don't even need the parachute at this point. Alright, and we just, practicing landing, like an actual landing. We could almost just deploy the parachute and be done with it, honestly. This is a really expensive test craft. I mean, with that short a flight, we actually could have just taken, like, maybe one battery and been done with it, but again, did not want to have the issue with the battery problem. Alright, let's go ahead and deploy our chute just for fun, which will slow us down a little bit. We kind of want to be careful with this big tank on here, though. I kind of want to save it in order to save the money, but at the same time, I'm pretty sure it's heavy enough to rip our chute off if we're not careful. This thing deploys at 500 meters, right? And that means how much delta V do we have left? Does this thing even tell me how much delta V? Yes, it does. 3.1 seconds of delta V left. Okay. Well, we're down to 160. It'll open at 500 meters. So we can burn off a bunch of speed with that 3.1 seconds, I think. So we'll see if we can give ourselves a chance with that. Actually, what's our actual altitude? 2,500? Yeah. Let's go ahead and burn off a bunch of speed then. Just a little bit. Because we're not exactly, because it'll open at 500 meters here. Let's get rid of our orbital. We don't need our orbital right now. There we go. Slow us way down. Ooh, I think our engine cut out just as our parachute opened. Oh, that was nice. Alright, so we're going to be top heavy when we touch down. Hopefully nothing breaks off, but we are going to be slightly top heavy. I'm just curious to see. Are we out of Delta V? Yes, we are officially out of Delta V. So yeah, our engine kicked off just as our parachute opened. That was actually really interesting timing. We're going to go ahead and touch down. We're going to see what, if any, effect that has. It might break the engine off. It might do a lot of stuff, but if we can get some extra money out of this, that will help. Because we get 50K and then we have 5,900. Excuse me, we have 5,900, 5,900. And we get 50,000 out of completing plus 3,000 for landing, which is a nice little bit of a bonus. Not huge, but a nice bit of a bonus. I think we're about to break this engine clean off because we're doing 7.9 meters a second, and oof, yep, broke the engine off. So, okay, so we have select mission pack, deselect finish mission. I don't have recycle ship. So if we finish the mission, so in order to recycle the vessel, you have to be on land. You have to be on land. But that's going to get us 5,300 Kyros back. That's nice. Let's recycle that ship. Look at that, 64,000 Kyros. We're above green. We went really low and came back high. Probably would have came back higher if I hadn't blown off the engine, or if I hadn't built such a big ship for such a small thing. Now, once again, I don't believe that's been an hour worth of video. Not sure at this point, so we're going to do one more mission at least, depending on what it is. I think it might be actually a really long mission. We're going to deselect this mission, and we're going to head back inside really quick. And, well, yeah, we're probably going to... It looks so weird, you know. It looks like a tower or something is out there in the middle of nowhere. Anyway, we're gonna head back inside, and we're gonna check out what the next mission is, and we're probably gonna do that one. So as I said, it probably hasn't been an hour. I mean, this mission's only been 9 minutes, so you know. Anyway, so I'll see you guys back inside, and we'll see what our next mission is. Alright guys, I'm just taking a quick look at the missions here, and you know what? We're only 2 missions away from Kerbal in space. Ooh, awesome stuff. So in order to get there, we have to go through Picorama. So I knew it was an error to strap a camera on our last flight. Now they want, I'm not sure where we put a camera on the last flight, but that's okay. Now they want us to want some nice beauty shots of the moon. And KSC, reach a stable orbit of 100 kilometers with a probe. Take some nice pictures of the moon and KSC, then land safe, preferably at KSC. So we only get 30,000 Kyros for this, so we have to make a cheap rocket if we want to stay in the green. We're going to call it green rather than stay in the black. So we want 100 kilometer orbit, plus or minus 5k, 200 Kyros for that. So okay, so then afterwards we want to land preferably at the KSC, which of course we're probably not going to do. So we're going to select this mission. To get to 100 kilometer orbit, that's not so hard. We did it once before with a very special ship. We did it with the Shroom 2. So why not we use the Shroom 2? Now I know that doesn't seem like a lot of fun to you guys. Are like, well, okay, KB, I mean, you know, why don't you build another one? Well, the Shroom 2, if you remember, had some power issues. Yeah, we're not going to deal with power issues. We're also not going to deal with these little probies, or these little probe bits. So the Shroom 2 is going to lose the very expensive probe parts because we do not need these very much. Alright, so we want all these to go bye-bye. They're not very expensive individually, but all together. Now this, yeah, this got us up there. Without a problem, it got us up there. Pretty badass, too. So yeah, 100 kilometer orbit, it's not a problem at all. We'll keep our little mechanical brain. But, do we have, this is the big, yeah, that's the big battery, which is unfortunately broken in this version. I don't know why. This battery should be just as big as the heat plate. It is. And that battery costs 80. Really? 80 and 80? So the batteries are exactly the same price. How much do they weigh independently? 0.0050. So this one's heavier than this one. Well, we'll keep it on there. It wasn't screwing us up too bad last time, but what we are going to do is we're just going to drop a couple of little light solar panels on the little guy, and that's just for safety purposes, just like that. Alright, so the whole thing is going to cost us 33,774. So this, and then our reward's going to be 32. 32. Oh wait. No, we get 30, and then 2, and then, so we're going to get about 35. So this mission's not going to be a real boon for us when it comes to payback, or money back guarantee, or whatever we call it. But that's okay. Like I said, we're not really worried so much about the scratch. We are worried more about just getting it done, right? Since we've already done this mission like twice before, I think, you know, going up, coming back, we even use the same ship with a slight modification. I think what I'm going to do for you guys is we're going to get out on the launch pad, we're going to launch, and then from there I'm going to see you guys up at the 100k mark, provided nothing goes wrong. And then from there we'll figure out the rest, because doing this over and over and over again is going to get boring for you guys, and that's no fun. So I'm just going to do quick mission updates on this one, and then we're going to try our best to get to the actual meat of the mission control, which is of course to send Kerbal up there, because yes, that is our ultimate goal, is to send Kerbal, because what's the point of having all this O2 issue if there's no one to breathe it? So absolutely, I will see you guys out on the launch pad, or unless, you know what, we've already launched this, we know it works. So I'll see you guys up at the 100k mark. Or maybe when we're coming back down, or maybe just, I don't know, we will figure it out, because I'm just wasting time talking. So let's get out there, and I'll see you guys outside somewhere. Alright everybody, once again we are out on the launch pad. We're just going to go ahead and throttle up and take off, because there's really no reason not to. So let us go into the wild black, wild blue. You know, it's wild blue yonder if you're just flying off into the atmosphere. I guess you can call it off into the big black. I don't know. There's so many different sayings for flying off into distant colors of things. Somewhere over the rainbow, right guys? Alright, so just a normal launch, nothing really spectacular going on. So of course I will see you guys when we get to our final destination. And then we'll do our picky picks and then come back down and see if we don't burn up. Probably won't. This ship's actually pretty stable when it comes to going up and down, but I'll see you guys there anyway. Alright everybody, here we are, 104 by 97, which puts us right in the tunnel that it wanted us to go into, so here we are. Now it does also want us to land on Kerbal or at Kerbal Spaceport, Space Center, whichever one. I can never call it what it is. It's a KSC. I don't know why I can never call it that, but I can't. we've only been up here for a couple of seconds, honestly, and there is no camera in this game. I mean, there's a bolt-on screenshot system which I don't use because it can crash your game. I mean, it's awesome. It like hyperthreads or upscales the images. So if you take like a 19 by 1080, a 1080p image, it'll upscale it like 10 to 20 times or how many ever times you want it to. But it takes up so much processing power to do that you can easily crash your system into your game. And then there's someone out there has a camera mod that's actually looks like a little clicky camera that you can add on, which allows you to take screenshots. But honestly, there's no actual camera system, so we're not going to worry about it. Speaking of camera system, you know what? I don't think I did the laser mod for this to get the docking ports on because we're going to need that for docking and everything. But what I think we're going to do is, I mean, we took the time and the money to bring up solar panels. So let's let's rotate it over so our solar panels are actually in the sunlight. We did that, and we haven't even seen the moon yet. So let's go ahead and just rotate over because the whole point of this is not just to waste time and do silly things. It's also, there we go. It's also to actually act like we're some kind of space agency. So flying up here only to not take pictures of the moon would be silly. So there's the moon. And we're taking quick snappy snaps and click, 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 click. Yeah. And then, we're doing Google Maps. I can see my house from here. So can everybody else. I feel like I'm being stalked. Okay. Let's go ahead and check our map really quick because we actually need our map screen now. And I guess what we can do is we can rotate around and see if maybe this time we can get into Kerbal. If we can land near the KSC, which should be, yeah, KSC's right about here. And wow, we're almost in a perfectly, wow, we are almost perfectly lined up orbit, aren't we? I mean, we're a little off center. We're a little off center, but I don't think that's that big of a problem. So we'll go ahead and loop around until we're roughly at KSC. We're going to be doing it from the dark side, of course, because that's where you do all the most awesome things in Kerbal Space Program. And slow down time. Let's take a look at our map again really quick because there's really no other indication of where we'll be coming in. Honestly, I think this will work. What do you think? Yeah, I think I'm right too. Alright, we're just going to burn in from here and see how it works. So let's take our orbital information because we want to bring ourselves down from 97 kilometers down to like, I don't know, not 97 kilometers. I don't know how many kilometers, but we're going to go ahead and see. 50, 40, 30, 20, 18? We did roughly that much before. That's a really deep dive though, isn't it? Let's take a quick look. Well, that's 19 on that end. Ooh, this is going to be a really deep dive, isn't it? I mean, we can go deeper than that. Well, I suppose we can afford to lose this probe, but it'll only get us like 600 points of like money if we do it anyway. So we'll do like that. It's going to be really bad of us, but we're going to see if that's going to work. And that's going to be our burn-in juncture. So let's go ahead and find where we are. I could just hit space, I suppose, and just... Oh, yeah, I locked us out. I didn't want to space out before... I didn't want to space out before we did our thing. So there we go. There's that, and hopefully that won't hit us now that I think about it. But yeah, this is going to be our burn-in, so let's go ahead and speed up time really quick. We should separate just fine. Oh, look at that! Look how pretty that is. Whee! Such pretty views, you got your rocket bits flying off into the sun with your prisoners on board and all your garbage. Yeah, that's how Kerbals dispose of garbage. We just throw it out into the sun. Yeah, they're fueling their god or something. I don't know. I wouldn't think Kerbals worship the sun as a god, personally. That does not seem correct to me. I don't know about anybody else, but that actually seems very incorrect to me. Because it's just like, Kerbals are more scientific than that. They wouldn't be worshiping the sun as a god. They'd be like, they'd look at the sun and they'd be like, hey, if we fed it more fuel, it'd probably burn longer. That would that would be the idea that they would come into. But they wouldn't be like, oh, if we worship it like a god, it will save us and protect us. Like, no, we can just throw more stuff into it. That'll work. Alright, so we're coming up on the west coast. Yeah, west coast of Kerbal Space Command's area. We're probably not going to be low enough to do what we want, but we're going to give it a shot. We're probably going to land in the water, and of course you can't recycle your ship when it's in the water, or, well, no, we didn't prove that. We only proved that you can't recycle your ship in some circumstances, but we're not 100% sure what those are. So yeah, wow, I don't know where I'd have to burn in order to come in appropriately over KSC, because we're now at 44 kilometers, and that's still way too high. We're still way too high. I have no idea how we do that. I mean, I guess we could have used up our fuel. Well, we're closer. I mean, well, if we consider 30, 36 kilometers closer, but it's not close enough. All right, so let's go ahead and slow down because we're starting to hit atmosphere, which means this is going to start heating up. It is. And since we came in at a steeper trajectory, we're probably going to hit the same place we did before in the middle of the ocean, even though we came in at a steeper angle. Excuse me. All right, so there's our fire. We got some fire going on. Because it's always awesome to watch the fire happen. I don't care who you are. Watching the fire happen is always awesome. And in this case, it's always awesome to check your ablative coating, too. Because if your ablative coating goes out, what happens? You burn up and die. And you lose out all your rocket. Bye-bye, rocket ship. You lose out all your rocket parts. Now, if you notice, we are actually... This is creating heat waves, but it's not actually creating heat. And I'm not sure if you could consider that a bug or not. I mean, it looks awesome. It looks awesome, but I'm not sure if you can consider that a bug or not. I don't think this heat shield was supposed to be fitted to something this tiny. I think it was honestly supposed to be fitted to something like the command pod, which of course you wouldn't see this flame from the command pod because it'd be the same size as this. So there is that. But you know what? It looks cool. So we'll just assume that everything's fine. Wow, we did good again. Look at that. Down to 137. We might go down past 129 where it was before. Nope. No, our burn-in's roughly the same, I suppose. Wow, did our temperature just spike up? For a second there, it looked like it did. I don't know why. Alright, so yeah, we're going to land... Well, halfway to our destination, I suppose. That's not too bad. An ocean landing is better than not, anyway. Alright, let's go ahead and speed up time just a little bit because we don't need to worry about much else. Guess I should open my chute at some point. Although we're only going like 200 meters per second. We're actually slowing down. I wonder if the heat shield is actually capable of slowing us down to almost a crawl. That'd be interesting. I'm curious to find out. Because we're still dropping in speed. Not as much as a parachute would like help us drop in speed, but we're actually dropping in speed. And since we're not at sea level yet, I'm not really worried. Like, sea level is where our 500 meter mark is, so I'm not really worried about it. I don't think we'll slow down enough before we hit the water. That is without question. Yes, okay, so we're about to... No, we're still slowing down. Not a lot, though. It's like cycling. So we'll just go ahead and hit our parachute really quick just to add that extra drag in there. That's interesting how this vessel is so light that just that heat shield wind resistance is enough to slow us down almost like a parachute would. Good stuff to know, right? Alright, so let's go ahead and bring it down. Oh, let's let it pop in real time. There we go. Always try to let your parachutes pop out in real time so that you don't rip them off, because once again, if you're in time accelerated mode, sometimes it can't calculate the force and it thinks like a little tiny tug on a parachute from opening is like it trying to drag an entire planet away, and it rips completely off and you die. And then there's other times when the glue just doesn't hold. Hey, look, we're going to land on the ocean, seam of the ocean again. Alright. So nothing super special here. Sorry about those little blips. I'm not sure what causes it. I think it's a graphics level change that causes it. Like it remaps the entire plane and it causes it to black out for a second, so it blips. I'm not sure. I don't know what causes it. I just know it happens from time to time. Okay, so that wasn't a bad gig. So now we get to see if landing, or i.e. completing an entire mission. Oh no, we didn't, because we didn't complete the optional goal again, which is to land it. We landed on Kerbal. All goals accomplished. Okay, weird. Okay, so we're going to finish the mission. And yeah, you can't recycle your ship if it's in the water. Interesting. But hey, we're back up to 66,000 euros. Not bad. This little guy's making us lots of money, or at least it's keeping us in the green. Alright, so, I kind of want to end the video here again, but I'm not sure how long it's going to be because I have some sections that are recorded that are going to be cut. So I'm going to do something really weird. I'm actually going to say I'll see you guys back inside, and then from there we're going to decide whether or not the next mission can be in this video or the next video, if that's okay with everybody. Of course, you don't know. If I upload it, you're like, oh my god, what comes next? So we're going to head back inside. We're going to see how much time the next mission is going to take, and we'll see which video it goes into. Because if we can get all the automated stuff into this video, then that means we can get to the real meat, you know, the Kerbal meats, in the next video. And that would be totally awesome for everybody, I think. So I'll see you guys back inside. Alright, everybody, I just took a quick look at what we have so far. And it looks like we have reached time. It's not even close enough to squeeze one more mission in there, unfortunately. So we are going to have one more automated mission, which is, of course, the ComSat 1 in the next video. But before then, of course, we also have our current budget at 66,000 Kyros. So as unbalanced as this is, and as I am, it seems to be working okay for us, even with at least one bad launch and the inability to recycle a couple of ships. So that's not too terrible. So maybe I was wrong about the balancing thing. Maybe I just got a little bit scared off the bat. But once again, not going to be worried about the money so much. But it is nice to see it in the green there. So once again, I would like to thank you all for joining me, 4KB Short, on this Let's Play of Kerbal Space Program with the Realz. And we will continue our adventures in, well, in realistic Kerbal spacing in the next video. And I will see you guys there.